Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a corner bookmark using some of the Celebration products. We're using this Everyday Enchantment designer paper and the coordinating brads. This is the Lucky Limeade brad. And these are free products that you can choose during Celebration for every $50 you spend during the promotion. The papers and brads are on page 7 in the Celebration brochure, so you can check those out. I did a video a while back showing the corner bookmark, and that was one of my first videos, so I wanted to give you an updated version, but this was the first one that I did, and I actually demonstrated how to create this sort of false page to see how the bookmark fits over the page when you're saving your place, but also that I could use this as a greeting card and have the bookmark be a gift. So that's an option too. I just didn't get the card made for this one, but I did want to show you how to make this bookmark. So I'm going to begin with just a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, my Pool Party ink pad, and I'm using the flower image from the Button Buddy stamp set, and I'm just going to ink that up and stamp my image. And then I'm using my scallop circle punch to punch out that flower, and I just want to position that so that I get all of the edges in there. So there's the flower. And then I'm going to take my paper piercing tool and just poke a hole right in the center of the flower. Okay, and then I've got my little designer brad, and I'll just poke that through, and then I can use that paper piercing tool to open up those little tabs on the back. Just helps. Okay, so now I can begin to just layer all of these pieces for the decoration, and I'm just going to use snail adhesive on the back of I'm just going to position that so that there's a nice border around all of the edges. And then I can go ahead and take some dimensionals, and I'm going to put 2 on the back of here on either side of that brad. And I can then just center that in the square. Okay, so now I have my decoration finished, and I'm just going to set this aside for now. So to get the decorative edge on the bottom of this bookmark, I will be die cutting these edges, but before I do that, I have a piece of Pool Party cardstock that is cut to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and this will be the base for the bookmark. And the first thing that we want to do is score those top edges to get that angle. So I've got my Simply Scored scoring tool that has the 1/8 inch grooves all the way along for scoring. But beginning today, we now have available this diagonal scoring plate that fits right inside of the Simply Scored. And this scores at a diagonal, which is perfect for this project. I do want to show you a couple of things on this. It does, on the back side, it has 2 little gripper pads that keep this from moving around on the scoring tool, and there is an arrow here at the top that shows you which way to position that. That arrow goes right up here at the top edge of the ruler. So I'm going to take my 3 1/4 inch square piece of Pool Party, and I have this marker placed at 1 5/8 inches, and I'm just going to take my scoring tool and score along that 1 5/8 inch mark, and it's a perfect diagonal. Then I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to do that again, and it takes those scoring lines just to a perfect point. So easy. To get this pretty decorative edge, I have used the Adorning Accents Edgelets dies that you'll find in the Occasions mini catalog. They come in 2 to a package, and you've got this scalloped edge and also this bracket edge. These come loose, just like the framelets, just a loose piece of metal die. I did go ahead and attach these to cutting pads because I find them easier to line up. So what I did was I ordered a couple of extra cutting pads. I just lined them up so that they were straight, attached them with sticky strip, and then created one that had a grid pattern on the bottom, and that will help me to line this up better when I go to die cut. This idea was really a helpful one, and it was shared by Deb Velder, one of our fellow demonstrators. The grid paper is actually attached with our multi-purpose adhesive sheets, and I attached the grid paper to it, and then I also, just to protect it, attached a window sheet to the back side of that so that the paper wouldn't tear. And I used the multi-purpose adhesive sheets to do that because it was very thin and it didn't change the bulkiness of the cutting pad. So this is really a helpful way to make these dies a little bit simpler to use. Okay, so to use the edgelets, you're going to start by sandwiching tab 2 of the multi-purpose platform. So I'll put that in my Big Shot. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this cutting pad that I've got the grid paper attached to, and I'll lay that down. And I'm going to begin with the pool party, and I'm doing the opposite edge from where these scored lines are. So I'm going to line that up with a grid line, and then I'll get my edgelet, and I'm going to line that up so that that edge is even. Okay, so as soon as I have that even, then I can go ahead and die cut it. So you've got your little your scalloped edge there, and I'm going to do that again for the white layer and the designer paper layer. Okay, so now that we have all of these edges die cut, I'm ready to go ahead and assemble this. So I'm going to fold along these score lines, just fold those back. So I've got that nice point, and I'll use my bone folder to crease it and get it nice and crisp. And then I can go ahead and layer the white and the designer paper right over the top of that. So I'm going to do that with snail adhesive. And so I will just put a little bit of snail on that white edge and attach the designer paper. And then I can attach this to the pool party layer. And I'm just putting that just a little, maybe a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch over those edges. So that's in place, and then I'm ready to go ahead. I want a, you can see on the back of this, I've got like a half triangle that covers up these folds and holds it together. So I have a 2 3/16 inch square that I am going to take my paper cutter, and I'm just going to match up these corners here on the cutting line and just cut right down, whoops, and just cut right down the center so that I have this triangle. And that's going to just fit right over the back side here. So in order to make this more durable as it gets used and gets slid over these pages, I'm going to use sticky strip to attach this. Okay, so when I have that backing off, then I can go ahead and just position this into place so that it just covers those fold lines, and that will keep it secure. Okay, so once you have that together, then you're going to take your ruffled ribbon. This is the pool party ruffled ribbon, so pretty, and I'm going to go ahead and just tie that around the entire bookmark into a knot. And then I'll just slide that into place, and I want it like way, let me show you this, way over to the far left edge. I'll just get it over there as far as I can because that knot cannot get in the way of your decoration that you're going to put on after this. So I've got that way over to the left edge, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my decoration and attach it with dimensionals. I'm just going to put a dimensional at the top and bottom of these points, and that way it will adhere either side of that ribbon and be secure. Okay, so I have that in place, And then I can just trim these little edges with my paper snips. Okay, and trim up that ribbon. Then on the back side, because you don't want your page, the page of your book, getting caught on the ribbon, I have a little piece of Pool Party cardstock that I've already put sticky strip on. Again, the sticky strip is going to hold up better than snail adhesive as you use this over time. So I did use sticky strip. And then we'll just attach this right over the edge of that ribbon. And it's okay if there's a little ruffle at the top, because the way this goes onto the page, that's not going to interfere with anything. So to show you how this works, here's a book, and we'll just open it up and find the page you want to hold, and this just slides over the corner of your page just like that. All of the products used to make this can be purchased except for the DSP and the brads, which you can get free for every $50 you spend during celebration. To order online, you can go to my Stampin' Up! Website. I've got that posted on the screen, or just email me. I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.